Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Book HQ. So today I'm going to be talking about my writers group and the writers retreat that we hosted this last weekend from the 11th to 12th of March. I'm sort of the president or the person responsible for a writers group here in Paris, and we sort of hosted a very grassroots initiative last week with our writing and writers retreat weekend. And we had 4 workshops with 4 different speakers. So the first workshop was a poetry workshop on like different forms of poetry, and we mainly looked at haibuns and pantoums. And then part of that workshop was also guiding writers on how to find a home for their various writing projects. So it was sort of like a guidelines on how to follow guidelines when you're making submissions. We touched very briefly on query letters, but mostly just like paying attention and trying to see exactly what it is that editors or competition holders are looking for when you make submissions. Workshop 2 was my workshop, which was digital storytelling, and I was mainly looking at being online and online presence and how to use that as a writer on different platforms. I was looking at narrative and how to like digitally market yourself as a writer. And I was doing that because I am a writer. I have a novel called Narini Man of the Line, which I think you can see in my YouTube banner. So I use a lot of these things myself, and I also work in digital marketing, digital advertising. Later on in the evening, we had 2 readings and a film screening from a filmmaker from Brazil who has 2 independent films out, and I'm going to leave the details of those 2 films below so you can go and check them out. His name is Sylvain T. Wilson. So that was the end of day 1. Day 2, we started with workshop 3, which was one on dialogue and sort of the technicalities of language, looking at things like punctuation, grammar, all those nitty-gritty things that you need to sharpen your writing toolkit, because you can always do better and learn more. And that was a workshop that I particularly was very interested in attending because it's always good to refresh what your knowledge as a writer and your skills as a writer. And then we had workshop 4, which was hosted by somebody who's also a YouTuber. Her channel is called Good Morning Maddie. So she was telling us about how she uses YouTube and public speaking as a platform for her writing. She also has a book out. She gave us various different examples of different authors also who use YouTube as a platform. And she actually also has a TED Talk. I'm gonna link all of that information below. That basically was our writers retreat weekend, and I'm gonna be posting videos with like resources for writing, competitions, things like directories, how to like query, things like that in the future. When I first started off on this journey, I had the words, I had it all down, and when I was done with it, I didn't know how to find a home for it. And the process to get to the point of it being published took something like 2 or 3 years, because it was through meeting somebody at my writers group that I found an editor, and then from there went on to find a publisher. Just that whole process was just, I didn't know anything, and I didn't really know where to start looking in order to get those resources. So yeah, I'm gonna be adding those kind of videos to my channel for those of you who maybe might find yourself where I was a couple years ago and are looking to sort of have that whole process demystified. So yeah, I hope you guys are interested and are gonna join me for these videos. And please feel free to send me questions about things that you want to know about it as well. I'll be happy to do videos on your questions or to try and answer some of those questions if you have any. But as always, thank you, and keep reading and keep watching. Bye!